Greetings, everybody. This is the Church of Zen sermon number 11. We are here in the studio. We're back. We're back in action. We're ready to get things going again. So, we're going to tell a story about the nuclear arms race, the Armageddon. The Armageddon that almost ended our current reality as we know it. Or society as we know. Let's say society, because reality is going to keep going no matter what the fuck happens to us. We're like fucking peasants, we're ants in terms of the universe. But there was an arms race in the 60s, 60s, 70s, 50s and 60s, yeah. And, it was Soviet Union versus USA. There was nukes, but then it got even worse with hydrogen bombs. There was biological weapons being tested, all this stuff. Nazis, Unit 731 from Japan, man, they're fucking testing like weird ass, necrotic pathogens that would eat people alive. It was some crazy shit. They would just release that shit like bugs, like swarms of like infected shit that would just spread. It was some dark times, man, and we barely survived that shit. Shout out to Jordan Peterson for this knowledge. I'm gonna just butcher, but this is a time when God was not on the lands. You see, in the early days, the medieval times, God was very strong. The church was the center of the state. And even though there was barbaric acts by the state, there was crusades, there was lots. The crusades were actually, an attempt to purify the land, so that was not bad. That was actually all right. The death just had to come because there's the devils, they say the satanic principles were imbued in these leaders of these other countries, and we had to destroy them so that all the people could see the light and they could get free from tyranny. That's what the Crusades were all about. But in medieval times, it was a very nice time. Like, it was very pure. There was torture, there was, wars, but nothing on the scale of what is happening today with all these biological weapons. We had no biological weapons. All we had was a torture rack, some knives, some swords. We could poke your eye out. But we could not make a bug that's going to eat you out alive. Like, that's some like, I don't know, one of those, like, those wasps, those, tarantula hawks. Like, that's some fucking scary shit. They fucking like put the babies on the tarantula. They sting the shit out of that fucking tarantula, so it can't move. It's incapacitated. Then they fucking put some babies on the fucking tarantula, and then it uses that tarantula's body and eats it fucking alive. Like, that's some scary shit. If you want to talk about scary shit, in medieval times, it was nothing like that because it was very primitive in a way, very orderly, very primitive, and these satanic beings could not overtake the pureness of life, pureness of society. But now we're getting to this point with all these nukes, hydrogen weapons, biological weapons. People are becoming some fucking crazy people. Like, some crazy dudes are running around these days. And there's not much we can do to stop them because they're so powerful by themselves. They have, like, the creation of life in their hands for that nuclear weapon. Like, they have the destruction of life. They have, like, Eden in their hands. Like, they can fuck shit up just by themselves. They don't need anybody else to fuck shit up anymore. Now with computers and everything, bro, you can have a virus that's just gonna completely destroy like everything. And there's we had some nuclear silos or whatever you call them, where they house the ICBMs. And to launch these ICBMs, there's two operators, and they have a key. They each have a key, and the keyholes are separated, more than an arm's length apart, so that one person could not do it at the same time. You need two people to do it. And these operators would, have the keys tied around their neck, and they would have to take the key off their neck and put it in there. They both had to put it at the same time, and they'd have to hold it for 10 seconds. And this was done, the keys were put in only once throughout the entire history of the ICBMs. And that was likely during the Cuban Missile Crisis. And so the idea that we were 10 seconds from destruction, because these were hydrogen, nuclear. These were hydrogen bombs. These things are so much more powerful than Hiroshima. It's ridiculous. Thousands, tens of thousands of magnitude greater in strength. And to be 10 seconds away from that is just crazy. It's ridiculous. Our humanity was 10 seconds away from destruction, from everything we've known. Now this is a similar story in the Bible. If you read it, there was a young maiden called Jezediah. Now Jezediah was from the fifth faction of the Olbrichs. The Olbrichs were a small communal family, but they were very rich. They're like Liechtenstein, modern day Liechtenstein. A bunch of Jew birds, a bunch of Jews. But Jews are cool though. Jews are cool. A bunch of Jews basically. So these Olbrichs were this Jewish fam. This is not like a family, but they're like a communal. They're kind of like South Africa, like apartheid. Like all the fucking white people are in this little area. That's how it was. And these Olbrichs, this community, felt fearful because there's a lot of poor people around them, and they were very jealous of their wealth, jealous of their power, jealous of their control. And they did not like that. And they were desperate. They were having some famine. They're in sort of like a desert dish community. And the water was out. It wasn't raining as much. They were having struggle raising food, crops. They were hungry. And the Olbrichs didn't really want to help that much because they're not the government. They're their own little community. And they sort of help each other. And so everyone around them got very mad and they started to fight. Now these Olbrichs were so advanced. They were so pure and holy, that they had a connection to God. They had a connection to God, and what they could do is they could telepathically speak to God. It was through this connection that they asked for defense. They're like, we are the most pure, holy people on this land, and all these savages are trying to kill us, destroy our wealth, destroy our lives, destroy everything. And God was like, okay, brother, I see you. You are a very devout Christian. You are, one of those that will likely go to heaven. I will help you out on this life. And I will help you try to purify the land. So what he did was God gave them a little bug. It's not like a bug. It's like a little liquid sort of thing. And this liquid was sort of like larvae, so to speak. They're like little larvae, these little organisms that would spread. And they took this little antibody, this little like vaccine, so to speak, where they would be immune to it, but they put it in the water, and they would say, okay, they put it in the water and they said, okay, everybody come drink from our water. We will let you drink. And so all the people came over. They all drank from the water. They all died. Because that organism killed them. They killed about 1 million people. 1 million people in the course of a week. And they made it so it was slow acting. So it would take about like 6 months for you to actually die. It was like a slow onset, so that everyone would get their drink and then they would all die. They'd all be dead, basically. Where should we go from here? Where should we go from here? I don't know. Where should we go from here? Let's have a prayer for you and me. We'll all make it there. So what do you see? Can you be here in this moment where it's all near? Where your heart, it will sing. One day it will be free. One day your heart will be free, and one day you can see me. All right, that's it. That's 10 minutes. We are done for this sermon. I bless you. Namaste, senpai. Have a nice day.